Welcome to the Roadshow podcast.
3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Roadshow. We are here today with my man, the one and only Fraan. What's happening, bro?
Man, it's been a while.
It's been a fucking while. I feel like I'm doing like a yearly update with all my guests. Like I had Corey on recently. I've got you on.
Yeah.
I've got a couple other people that came on pretty early.
Yeah.
But we're in our 60s now, bro. You're number 62.
Episode.
Yeah, number 62.
Damn.
Yeah. Wild.
Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I feel like there was a good 30 episodes that I was just so stoned for, I don't even fucking remember them.
Yeah, I never got to experience that with you.
No?
No, I never got to experience that the stoner life with you on podcast.
We didn't do that?
Nah, we didn't.
Damn, because you were number 2, right?
Yeah.
Who was number 1? That was with Hammer and Tyso.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
That was funny.
That was good. That was a good one. Man, you guys were gone.
Oh.
Out of it.
We had a microphone that was like on one microphone stand, and between the two of them, they would just push the boom arm back.
And they would just go, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere.
And then I remember you were the second podcast, and you were the only one to ever sit in that green chair. And then after that, it was me.
Yes. Because I came through, and I was like, nah, man, I got to get that one. I got to get that one, man. And you're like, easy.
It actually made sense that the guest would sit on the green chair.
Yep.
But then I just started sitting on it.
That's all good.
Like, I was talking to artists and musicians and stuff, and there's like a guitar amp next to it. It made sense.
Yeah. It looked aesthetic. For the shot, it looked good.
It's crazy that it was just in like a little lounge room in like an apartment.
Yeah, man.
You know?
But you got to start somewhere.
I love that shit though, bro.
It keeps it organic.
Yeah.
It keeps it organic. It's a good feel. Like right now, I also really like this setup. This is the next evolution towards your podcast era. Like this is good. You got it going on, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of cool, eh?
Yeah, I like
It's
it.
different. Let's be honest. I probably did steal a lot of it from like Rogan.
Nah, I mean like it's a good setup.
It's my setup.
It's your setup. It's your vibe.
Yeah. Well, the first of all, I made this table.
Yep.
And I was like, damn, it's like a perfect distance.
Exactly.
Like, because these are literally 2 kitchen bench tops. See? Join down the middle here.
All right.
And I put legs on it. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, smart man.
This is a really like, because it's fucking hardwood too. It's heavy as fuck. It took like 3 of us to move it.
It's worth it, man. It looks good. It gives you that studio feel. It gives you that comfortable feel. And that's the important thing. I'm comfortable. It feels nice. It feels like it's home, but it also has a professional vibe to it.
That's what you want.
That's what you want.
Yeah. That's what kind of your studio has too.
Nah, my studio is small, bro.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
But you can't have 4 or 5 people in it.
Do you want that?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes that extra few ears, and it's a good vibe. It creates a good atmosphere having a lot of people around.
That's a good point.
But I mean, I've experienced other studios with it.
Like Levels has
that.
a bunch of like seating at the back and stuff, which is fucking awesome. But I think
the phone, man.
Imagine me not turning my phone on silent mode. Really?
After the 100th episode, you learn.
Dude, there's things that I fuck up still. But yeah, at Levels Studio, sometimes I feel like when you're sitting up close near the desk too, and there's only 2 of you.
Yep.
That's still like some of the best sessions that you have.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it doesn't. I know what you mean though. Like it's the option of being able to.
It's
have
the option, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like this studio. I have the option of doing 4 people. So I've got another boom arm at the end of the table.
Yep.
You know, I can just set up another one if I need to.
Exactly.
So it's all about kind
You
of.
even got that you got a whole desk, like someone can start producing here while people are doing podcasts. Like it's oh man. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, and the curtains, they're all soundproof curtains.
Did you get that from AliExpress? Because I there's some cheap,
I think those ones.
good ass ones from AliExpress.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. No, I got those from Adair's. Adair's? I fuck knows, some curtain place.
Yeah.
And they were just like the heavy as fuck curtains.
Yeah. That would be,
Yeah. Like, you don't want to run into them because there's a brick wall behind them.
Yeah.
But
You don't want to run into them. Please don't.
so tell me about your fucking music, bro. Because the last time we talked was the last time you put out a song.
Yes. I believe it was like close to the song was released.
I think it was like 3 weeks or something. Around
Yeah, it
that
was like
time,
3 weeks out or something like that.
So this new track, They Know,
Uh-huh.
has been out for a week and a half?
Yeah, it's leading up to 2 weeks now.
2 weeks, yeah.
Uh,
Who did the mix and master on yours?
Shout out to Jacob Richards from LA. He did a wonderful job, phenomenal job. And yeah, we've been having a just a back and forth relationship of sending mixes out, receiving them for a lot, for Reggie's music, for my music. I'm getting a few more artists involved in it, DNM's music. So it's going to be more like an in-house sort of approach now.
Dope.
Yeah.
And who does he work with?
So
He's Jacob Richards.
So he's in LA and he is interning for pretty much as a mix assistant for Jason Joshua.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good.
And for people that don't know, Jason Joshua is a 15-time Grammy Award winner.
He's pretty much
Mixing.
like the OG, the GOAT of the mixing world.
Mhm.
All those smooth records you hear from R&B and hip hop that you love, he's probably mixed that. Very good chance.
I remember first learning about Jason Joshua, and you were the motherfucker that told me about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, damn, who the fuck is this? Have you used his God Particle?
Yes, I bought it. I had access to it. I mean, a little bit before it came out. It was like a beta version.
Oh, the beta version?
Yeah, the beta version of it. But I definitely bought it. I bought it. I mean, the thing, we're at a stage right now in music and with a lot of evolution is that the secrets are coming out. It's not being held behind closed doors, right?
Yeah.
So just the fact that a person like me in my home studio, I can have access to that. It's just like, come on now. We can actually have a chance of leveling up our mixes, our craft, because of technology that's just available to the common man.
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
For people that don't know, the God Particle is a mastering plugin, and it accentuates all the noises behind your main track. So like all of your reflections from reverb, your delays and everything are so much further brought out into the mix that it just gives like complete clarity to all the fucking muddiness and everything, and it shows you what needs to be adjusted.
Exactly.
In a stereophonic way.
Yep.
Which is like, what? Hold on.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make too much sense to me like how they came up with that.
Yep.
But when I layer that on a fucking track, I'm like, oh shit. And then you can hear like
No, you
certain
can hear it.
You can the frequencies that it almost turns up everything.
Yep.
So it audibly highlighting bad frequencies for reduction.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean by that?
It's like, for the people who are going to be listening, it's that sauce. It's that sauce that you need that just pretty much glues everything together.
Yeah.
Man, it's magic.
Yeah.
It's magic, bro.
It fucking is.
Here's free promotion for him. There you go. We just freely promoted his plugin.
Yeah. He'll see this shit.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll take my fucking this.
I'll take the commission.
No, but I bought it. I think it was about 2 weeks after it came out because I just didn't see the notifications for it coming out, and I was following it like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
This plugin, I've told people about it, and they're just like, "Yo, check it out." I'm like, "You have no idea. You have no idea," and they never check it out.
No,
never check it out.
it's fun. It's whatever, man.
But that's music.
That's music.
Because there's a billion different ways to get there.
To get there, exactly. That's the important part. Is that it doesn't matter which way you go. You could put one plug in, you could put 5, but the outcome, if it sounds good for the track, for the genre of the track, then it's good, man. It doesn't matter if it's God particle, South particle, North particle. I don't care what particle it is.
Yeah.
It'll work.
Yeah. What made you want to get into mixing?
I don't mix. I now in my career,
So it's kind of just like a thing that happens when you're producing?
Yeah, because I think every producer is also somewhat of a mixer to a degree. Because you need to understand sound. You need to understand sonics. You need to understand how things are going to be placed. That's very important. Making sure that you know that this is meant to come out at this time. This is meant to leave at this time. It's very orchestrated. So I have to mix anyways when I produce, because the client or the artist that I work with, they're gonna be like, bro, this sounds shit. Like, can you make it sound good? And that's the common like feedback that you would get is like, can you make it sound good? Like, the artist doesn't care like what you do, so I have to somewhat start mixing it to a degree, and that's why I mix it to a degree. I make it sound good. I make it sound loud. How things need to be set.
Yeah.
Then I'll send that off to Jacob or any other mixer. It's their job from there to take it on and then perfect it. Yeah.
So it's like going to a studio for an artist is more like, hey, I want to walk away from this with something that I can show my friends.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just like, hey, let's get some stems on a page and fucking get the fuck out.
Nah. I hate that, man. I
Yeah.
hate when like people don't take the time to just make the track like audible, make it playable so I can bump it in the car, even if it's a rough mix, whatever it is. Like that should be the final thing in that studio session is give me a version where I could play it in the car and it sounds good. Like, it sounds like, oh, this is bump worthy. And so when the moment I realized that, okay, that's part of the checklist of a producer, is that you need to also understand a bit about sonics and how to place things. That's how I got into mixing.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Right. That's fucking wild. I love the progression that it takes to learn certain things.
Yeah.
And to actually be like seen as a professional.
Yeah, man.
You know,
100%,
like you could be the
100%.
best fucking producer in the world, but if they're walking away from your studio with a fucking trash, like,
If that shit ain't bumping, man.
yeah,
Nah.
they're like, hey man, listen to this, to their friends, and they're like, what the fuck is this?
I've had moments, man, where I've been in the car, and this is what makes the journey so special, is that you have these moments where I've like gone hours on hours just trying to tweak something up, right? We get in the car and we play it, and the moment it hits, I look at it, I'm like, I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. This was not meant to sound like that.
I had that recently.
And you just smack your head back and forth into the car, because you're just like, man, this was sounding so good in the studio. What happened?
Yeah.
And that is every like mixer, every producer goes through that. I don't think there's not one person who doesn't go through that disappointment of like, man, I worked so hard and it sounds like ass. It sounds like,
I've gone from like producing in the studio, and then going to the car to check out how it sounds, trash as fuck.
Yeah.
Go back to the studio, and then done that same back and
Same.
forth like 15 times.
100%.
Just so it sounds good in the car, and then you try it on a fucking Bluetooth speaker, and it's fucking worse. You're like, what the fuck is this?
And that's really when you appreciate the craft, because you're like, damn, I understand.
They can make it sound good.
They
on
can make it
everything.
sound good on everything, and then you see the gap. And then the moment you see the gap, there's two sorts of outlets that happen. You give up, you can be like, nah, the gap's too big.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Or you say, all right, I see the gap between me and that person, or me and that, you know, the final ideal point I want to be. Then you just take the steps slowly but surely. There's a lot of head smacks. There's a lot of times where you're just like, man, how do they do it?
Yeah.
Like, how do they make this thing sound so good? Because it's like a drug. Music is a drug.
Yeah.
And the way it's put together, it's for you to consume. So this drug, or this potion, this music potion that gets put into your ear, it has to be to a point where like someone from Afghanistan hears it, someone from Australia hears it, someone from Germany hears it, and they're like, I love this, I vibe with this. So like, what is that? And that is what sparked me to be like, okay, there is a science to this of sonics and sound that I need to figure out, and I'm still figuring it out. Yeah.
What was your biggest jump, like, that propelled you forward? Because I've heard what you were working with before when I was managing Corey, and the stuff now.
Yep.
So where did you have your massive jump? Because you have jumped.
Breaks.
Yeah.
I think breaks for me has been good. Now it's
Like physical breaks away from it.
away from it, just to allow like myself to And I think growth. When you grow as an individual, and mind you, man, I have so much of a gap still to grow. I know that. I think everyone does.
Yeah.
There's no perfection here.
I think that's the humility behind any kind of fucking venture that you're going forth.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because I want to get to the point, or I want to be at the point where the craft, I can step back and the craft will handle itself. Like, what I mean by that is, you know, when you dedicate yourself to something, at some point you don't have to be so conscious about it. You can just allow that. You can allow your skill set to take over.
Mm-hmm.
You have that confidence and that reassurance that, man, I got this. So that huge gap or that huge leap to get where I'm at just took me just stepping away. It took some time for me to step away and not just step away, to be honest. It was like, go and do some spiritual work. Like go and work go and do other parts of your life and fix that up. And then you come back and then everything is like a domino effect. It affects your music. You hear things differently. You have a different appreciation. Like I tell you, at one point in my life, I was like numb to music. I'm like, man, I don't feel anything. Like you just go on Spotify, you listen to it. I'm like, nothing moves me really. But then I thought, was it the music's issue or was it my issue? I realized it's an issue that I'm having.
Mm.
I've took this more as like a science project and I need to view it as just like, dude, this is art. Let's just view it and consume it how it needs to be consumed.
That's really interesting. Well, it's almost like your antenna was broken.
Straight up. That's a very good way to put it. Yep.
You know?
Yep.
I've been there.
Yeah.
When you're like, you know the music's good,
Yep.
but you're not receiving it.
Nah.
It's like a fuzzy screen on the television back
Yep.
in the 90s. You know, like fucking hit the side of it. Like it's not fucking
It's not
working,
working.
you know?
Yeah.
And I guess, yeah, taking a break and working on the things within yourself so you can receive things better.
Absolutely.
Receive information better. Recently I've become a lot more aware of how shit I am at receiving information.
Yep. We all are.
Yeah, and it comes, I think, with like the exhausted antenna. It's like you're receiving too much, so you don't know what to receive.
You don't know what to receive. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like powerful songs don't seem powerful because you're fucking listening to fucking 100,000 reels of Andrew or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. You get numb to it because there's so much stimulus happening, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're producing music. Like just look at the sound hitting your ear, right? And it's hitting it constantly, and it's hitting it more frequently because you're just playing section after section after section. Whereas like, if you're a consumer, you'd be listening to the song from start to finish, enjoying it. But when you're producing, you're like, okay, go back, do that again, go back. So the magic of the song goes away. You know, that feeling starts to become very normal. And then that's when it's a rabbit hole. That's when you need to step back. You need to be like, whoa. I could start really screwing up the song here. I got to step back, take some time. And yeah, man, that's...
So what kind of meditation are you doing?
At the moment, I'm doing TM.
Transcendental?
Yep. So I remember before I was telling you about it, I never went and actually devoted my time to doing it. So I believe it was like maybe 4 or 5 months after that interview we had. I was like, man, I got to stop freeloading. This is bullshit. Because I was freeloading. What I mean by that is I was trying to receive the information for free where I had to pay my dues. I was like, I'm not going to get the full effect. It's like trying to learn martial arts, but like at home. It's like, nah, man. Go.
Good way.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You ain't learning that, man.
You ain't learning shit.
Go to the academy.
Get punched
sign
in
up.
the face.
Exactly. Pay what needs to be paid. Now go through the trials and errors and become good. So it was the same as TM. I was like, oh, I'll try to learn it at home. I'll just look it up. I was like, nah, this is not it. So I took the time. I did the TM course. It was about 3 days. And honestly, after that, man, there's been a sense of the rocks on my shoulder that I've been carrying, this burden. It's like an iceberg, right? And I slowly start melting it away. Each time I do it, it starts melting. And it becomes easier. Becomes everything. It's less stressful, everything. And the way I respond, there's like a big gap. There's a big gap between, you know, the environment hitting me and for me to respond. I could just take that step back and be like, oh, okay, I see what things are happening. Whereas before, you get caught up. Someone says something like, what'd you say? This, you know, it's like you're almost on like a time-ticking machine ready to explode. Job's stressful. This is stressful. Man, this guy talked weirdly about me. He said some weird shit. But now it's just like, that could all happen. But there's this nice gap before it hits your system, before it hits these impressions inside you. You have this time to start reflecting and looking at things.
Yeah, it's the time before reaction, right?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it becomes longer.
So what's the physical method that it takes to get into a state of transcendental meditation?
Well, first you need to go and do a retreat.
What does it consist of?
It's very simple.
Yeah.
And that's what I realized, that meditation can't be complicated. Just the idea of like meditating and unfolding, like you can't, it just wouldn't make sense if that was complicated, right? Because anything that becomes too complicated, I believe, it starts using too much of the mind, the mechanics of the mind.
The ego starts playing in.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole point of meditation is really not to do well and interact too much with the mind. So, but the simplest way of meditation on TM, you're being told a mantra. So you close your eyes, you relax, and then you've been told a mantra, and you repeat this mantra inside your head. And what happens is that this mantra is like a vehicle, right? And it allows you to go deeper and deeper into relaxation and into a different state where things quiet down, you know, things become, the river settles down, whereas the river was being chaotic in the beginning. And all it requires is just this mantra, which is a vehicle that assists you to just go deeper and deeper. It almost keeps the mind occupied. And that's as simple as it can get. And then there's obviously advanced techniques, which I have to probably go back and learn that advanced technique. But that's it. So you learn this mantra, and you become the best student to meditate.
So the mantra, whatever the fuck you call it, it keeps your mind's eye connected to something, so it stops the rage around it, so your peripheral mind's eye can settle.
Kind of, yes. If you could see it as like, okay, your mind is always chattering. It's always talking.
Fucking tell me about it.
Everyone's mind. Everyone's mind. So if you see the mantra, it almost is just like a bypass, or it's like that little, what do you call it? Like, you know, if you ever seen one of those like movies where someone has to distract like the bad guy for you to go around?
Yeah.
It's like that. The mantra is like the distraction of your mind. And let's just, for example, let's say your mind is the bad guy. So it can be, it cannot be.
The ego.
The ego, right?
Yeah.
So the mantra distracts it, and you keep doing it, so it becomes occupied, allowing you to go deeper and deeper. Because sometimes it's hard for you to go deep into relaxation and into a different state, because your mind keeps interfering. The moment you go, image comes up, words come up, and you start to interact with it. So then you're playing at the same game. You can't, no. Got to use the mantra, allow this situation to unfold, allow it to dismantle it, and you go deeper and deeper.
Damn.
Sometimes a little bit uncomfortable, because the more deeper you go, things are starting to come up, right? I
was going to ask, are you met with like a bunch of like past thoughts and feelings and all sorts of shit?
Yeah, but I just stick to the mantra.
Yeah.
The job is just to stick to the mantra and allow things to be organic and natural. That's one of the main things that I understood about this whole process, is that everything has to be natural.
So what does it do for you, like physically, after you come out of like a transcendental like session? I guess that's what you call it. What's the feeling that you're getting after it? Are you feeling like calm, like physically? I mean, not just like mentally and in the mind, but
fully calm.
Yeah,
fully calm.
Everything's chill.
Everything's chill.
Do you feel more alert?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because see, that's the trick here, is that people think that the more you are on the go, the more you go. That's what alert is. No. I firmly believe alert is when you're at the calmest state, because then you can have that extra time and that extra perception to view everything. So that I feel like that is what alert is. There's two things that can happen with TM. after. You might become really tired and you're going to go to sleep. You should allow that to happen. That's just your brain and your body just discharging all the stress. Because the simplest way to put it, TM is like a stress reliever, but not just for your mind, but for your body. So the deeper you go, it just like untangles these knots, these stress knots that you've put in your body and your mind, and it unwinds them, right? And the more you do it, obviously, the more it's going to unwind. So it will come at a certain point that after a TM session, you're alert. You don't want to go to sleep. You have more energy. All these benefits.
Have you ever tried sensory deprivation floating?
No, man. I do remember someone saying that. I think it was you who told me about it. I have not. Tell me.
Dude. So, wild as shit. So, one of the guys that owns Beyond Rest, Ben, shout out Ben, I was interning for them for fucking like a year and a half. So they gave me, like, they paid me in floats rather than just paying me. And I was working a full-time job and stuff anyway, but I wanted these free floats.
Yep.
And because the community was so fucking good, they were the only people to ever, like, only float company that I know of back then, at least. More companies might be doing it now. They had a connection thing. So you go in for a float, and then after the float, you would go out and sit with the other people that have just floated in that session, and you talk about your experience. And they would have someone dedicated that would sit down with you and ask you the wildest fucking questions ever.
Wow.
Crazy questions that you wouldn't normally like just talk to someone about.
Yeah.
And you were so open and willing. So what the sensory deprivation tank did for me, right, is exactly what you're talking about with transcendental meditation.
Yep.
But it's instant. There's no mantra.
Yep.
You're inside of a room and it has a tank in it.
Yep.
And you're inside that tank. So the tank's pitch black.
Correct.
Inside a pitch black room. So there's no light.
There's no light, yep.
And then there's no sound. And I don't know if you know anything about sensory deprivation tanks, but it's 500 kilos of salt inside of 500 liters of water. And you float on top of it with like maybe 15% of your body underneath the water. That's how buoyant it is.
Right.
And then the temperature of the water is gauged, and it's the same temperature as your skin. So after about a minute, once the fucking water settles, you don't know where you begin and the water begins.
Yeah, I got to try.
So physicality just dissipates, and then you go into your breathing, and then you start to realize, holy fucking shit, without this gravity pulling me towards this ball, the globe, in actuality, if the globe wasn't here right now, I would be floating in nothingness.
Yes, yes.
So it's literally like you're segregated from the world at this point, and nobody else feels how you feel.
Correct.
And that liberating feeling of being so... Oh, and sure, it's magnesium sulfate. So you have like the muscle relaxants of magnesium. You have like the benefits of meditation and all this stuff, but you also get this crazy like I hear music in my head.
Wow. When you do it?
When you do it, yeah. So here's a couple of stories for you. Sorry, management over at Beyond Rest, but yeah, it has to be said. I wasn't working there then, so it closed at like 11:30 at night.
Okay.
Sometimes with the cooler people, we have to stay back and clean up and, get ready for the next day, as you would any shop. This one time I got 5 grams of mushrooms though.
You're a wildcat.
And I was like, you know what? I've done my part. I'm going to go and jump in one of these tanks. Let me know if I overstay my welcome. So I downed these 5 grams of mushrooms, like finished rolling up the towels, just as the last towel's completely rolled up. I was like, oh, it's ready. We brewing. It's time to get in. So I go in, I shower, I jump in this tank. The first thing that I see, so there's a light on one side of the tank. So you press this like rubber button and it comes up with the light. And if you double tap it, it turns into like rainbow lights.
Yep.
So I turn the light off and I'm like, the light didn't turn off. And then it turned rainbow And I was like, the light turned off.
The light turned off.
Yeah.
You're in it.
Yeah. And then just I wish it was just a massive spiral. I wish it was just that, because it would be so much easier to be able to describe it. But it's almost like I got pulled into this massive vortex of fucking what do they call that shit?
Trigonometry
And like fractals, and just like the world's just fucking, the universe is just tearing apart so I can travel. Now, laying as straight as I can with my hands above my head, I felt as if I was being shot through the fucking universe. I'm shot through the fucking universe. My head became a spinning ball, and it rapidly started spinning, and it was glowing white. So I felt like I was a shooting star going through the universe.
Yep.
And I started to experience all these different dimensions. Like I would go through like a dimension of like fucking Cheetos. Like everything was Cheetos. I went through a dimension of like different colored shit. Like it was kind of like what you would see on Ant-Man, you know, how he goes through all the dimensions. It was like that. But at the end of this, and I thought I was deep for years. I thought I was gone for years.
Oh, yeah, you would have.
Because there was no sense of physicality. Like I was in this tank that I just described just to you just then, and then plus mushrooms on top of that.
Yep.
So I think I'm gone for fucking years. The finishing music comes on to the float. It's like, and just like these chime sounds behind it.
Yep.
You're like, it's coming out. I open my eyes. I wasn't in the tank.
That's fucked.
I was in a fucking, it's so hard, it's so wild to explain it like this. I was in my year 2 classroom.
Wow.
And I was standing in front of the whole class.
What? So it literally teleported you
Back in time. Consciously. I was there.
Yeah,
I could see them all.
yeah.
I could see them all.
Yep.
They were all staring at me. And I was just like, what? But it was like I was me. And do you know what's funny? In year 2, it was probably the most traumatic time of my fucking life.
Really?
Yeah.
You can remember you too?
I can remember it, yeah.
Fuck.
Because I remember in year 1, my real father came back to visit me.
Okay.
And I was always like, at school, I was always like, fucking, you know, I see these kids with all their dads.
Yep.
I remember every single day, the dads picking up the kids.
Yeah.
The kids would run at the dads, and I'd just fucking head down, walk home every day.
Damn.
Yeah. Wild
Yeah.
shit. So I was in this classroom, and everyone had the face of my real father.
Wow. Oh, the mind will do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would do that to you for sure.
It was wild.
Yeah.
And then I started laughing. And as soon as I started laughing, everyone's face, one by one, started coming back to who it was actually supposed to be.
Nice. You use laughter as the way to like dismantle that situation.
That trauma, yeah.
Yep.
And it made so much sense to me because that's what I've done my whole life.
Correct.
If something gets like, if I can't handle a situation, I'm going to make a joke. The amount of funerals I've fucking laughed at. I know it's wrong. Trust me.
No, it's not.
It's just the way that I've handled it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, as soon as I started laughing and everyone's face came back, I turned to the teacher and her face was the last one to come back, but it was her face just before it was about to come back turned white and everything, and I was back in the tank.
You're back in the tank. Yep.
And I was like, whoa. But that light never left because it's almost as if it shot away. That scenario just shot away. And my head inside the tank, I went like this to look at my feet.
Yep.
And then the light came up through my feet all the way through the center and hit each chakra, and it glowed. Boom.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh, I'm ready to get out now.
Yeah.
And that first step, putting my foot back on the earth, was like, it sent shock waves all through my body.
Oh, it would.
I was like receiving life again.
Yep.
It was that, and I took a hero's journey. So I'm fucking, it's probably.
I mean, 5 grams in And the tank will do that to you.
It was wild.
Yeah, it would be.
It was really, really cool.
I've never had a chance to have like a meditative experience with like psychedelics. That just sounds fun. And not that it sounds, I might go into a rabbit hole where I'm like, oh man, it might get a bit deadly. Might be a little bit deadly.
Yeah, my other experience, I was trying to replicate what I just told you, but I jumped in and I had maybe 2 grams. And all I remember, and I don't remember much from this one, I don't know why. I think it was maybe they're a different type of mushroom or something.
Could be.
But I remember wholeheartedly like this giant vagina.
Wow.
With teeth, and it was bubbling from the fucking middle of it, and it was just like chung, chung, and this was after a breakup. Funny, right?
Bitch had a big pussy, man.
No, well, I think it was signifying, because I was all throughout my fucking life, I've been trying to validate myself through females. Always.
Okay.
Always. Like the first girlfriend that I had, I was like, I'm gonna get a hotter bitch than that. Fuck that.
Yo.
She left me. She cheated on me. She left. Whatever the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember if she cheated. No, she probably didn't. I think it was the.
You're just making up the fact in your mind that she's cheated now?
No.
But did she or did she not?
I can't remember because I was 14.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, she didn't.
She didn't.
No, she didn't. She left me for another guy. She could have, but I didn't have that information. I do have a story about that, though. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah,
I might cut this out, but
yeah, pop it.
if I tell it in a non-vulgar way, you're going to be like, holy fuck. So the story behind my first ever girlfriend, not going to name her name. Fucking dark. So I was very young. I was smoking weed.
Mm-hmm.
I used to buy weed off her stepdad.
Oh, shit.
Right?
That's a good fucking trade.
Yeah, it's a cool trade, right?
Yeah.
Until we split up. And then about a year later, she goes, hey, can you stop calling my stepdad and buying weed off him?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, sure, why? He's going to jail. And I was like, oh, okay. What's he going to jail for? Hung up. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck was that about? So I didn't think anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't give a fuck. If he gets locked up for weed, that's on him.
Yeah.
You know? And then I was talking to one of my friend's friends who knew her and her family. And it turned out that she was being raped by her stepdad.
Wow.
All while I was with her. And
Yeah,
before
tough.
that.
That's rough, man.
And I was buying weed off him, getting high with him. That's rough, right?
That's going to leave a traumatic experience, like, no matter what you, like, I don't know how you can get out of that. How can she, in her perspective, how can she get out of that?
I don't know.
Mentally. Sure, I mean, okay, it's done now, but that's rough.
Yeah. I know she's got kids and a family of her own now, which is
Yeah.
obviously you kind of have to get on with life after it happens. But
Yeah.
that was my first fucking relationship.
Fuck.
And finding that shit out,
Yeah.
you know, I already had a sense of, dad's being a piece of shit. And then stepdad's being a piece of shit as well. Like, it was just, it was a lot.
I guess you I guess the way you started this journey of relationships, it wasn't a normal experience, that's for sure. Fuck.
No.
But it builds character. Like those sorts of I don't wish that upon anyone, but
Me neither.
but it builds character to be like, when you are in a relationship or when you are dealing with another individual, be a bit more considerate. Just, that little argument probably isn't worth it. That, just picking on random things isn't worth it. A lot of the times it's like each individual is like an onion, the way I see it, and you got to keep peeling these layers, right? And the more comfortable you are around each other, you will start to see that closet open up, and you see the skeletons. And then you're like, whoa, I really understand you on a whole deeper level, where it's like surface level relationship is one thing. But opening that closet and seeing that person's demons, those skeletons in the graveyard, you really get to appreciate their existence. And those little arguments from there on, it's just whatever. It's like, come on now. Like, you've gone through a lot. I've gone through a lot. Let's just enjoy the pieces of ourselves that are not broken yet.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. There's so many pieces of each person that's so broken. It's like, and that's what we're interacting with, you know? It's like the moment I say something, it might trigger you because you've had a bad impression because someone else has done something. And it's like you're stepping on landmines. And with women, I mean, they've gone through a lot as well, like whether it's rape, molestation, all this shit. So you have to, it's when you're talking to them in the beginning stages, it's almost like you got to watch out before you step on a landmine, because you don't know, like, if a certain word or a certain image is going to trigger her to completely just shut you off. You know what I mean? And it's got nothing to do with you, but that's how, like, an individual needs to be more conscious and considerate, because, man, we're all fucked.
Yeah.
We're all fucked because this world does that to you, but there's always a way out. And that's the beauty about it. There's always a way out.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that there's any wrong to judging somebody that triggers something within yourself. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, of course. There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with it, but I do think that it does set you up to always do that. Yeah. You know, and it's hard to find, like, inner peace, inner happiness when you're constantly reacting to everything that's being said or done to you. And I think with that story that I just told you, it comes with a lot of growth instantaneously, and probably half the reason as to why I make fun of so much shit nowadays is because it's the only kind of way that I have to process a lot of the evil. Yeah.
Man.
That's a heavy story, yeah.
It's a heavy story, but the thing is, I've heard stories like that.
Yeah. That was my first relationship.
But that's what makes it so... what do you call it? So shocking, because it was your first one. It's like you open that door, you're like, man, I'm a young innocent child, I'm a teenager, I'm gonna experience this thing that they call love. And then you get smacked with this reality of, like, this is what's going on the opposite side. Yeah. Right? And it's gonna shape you differently. It's gonna shape you to look at the female differently. It's gonna shape you to look at the man differently. Especially the father figure. It's like, first of all, if a daughter can't... I firmly believe that females shouldn't trust men, just like in general, on the get-go. Right?
It should be earned.
Should be earned.
Yeah.
But, like, that's just because there's so much fuck shit going on. Now imagine she has that in her mind, but then she's like, okay, I could definitely trust my father. And then that happens, you know? And it's like, who am I going to trust? So you can now see when women are like, nah, fuck man, I'm going to go get my bag. I want to get money. Because it's like, who are you going to trust? She was left with, you know, someone who's meant to be a guardian, her parent. She couldn't even trust that. What option does she have? Well, fuck men. I'm just going to go and make my money, do what I got to do, I'm going to use men, etc., etc. And that's the kind of narrative that storyline can lead to. It doesn't always, but it can.
Most of the time it does.
Most of the time it does. Yeah.
Good point. Fuck this throat of mine.
Man, you keep getting us in deep conversations, bro. We got to pull it back into, like, more. I like it though.
Yeah. I think if I was a reserved character and I didn't want to talk about these things, I don't think the podcast would do so well.
I agree. It's topics that you're walking on this edge, and
well, it's not like it's not true.
No, exactly, it's true. Some people would just rather not have this conversation on the podcast going worldwide, but me and you would just like, bro, let it all out. Let's hear what it is. Let's get different perspectives on it.
Yeah, because, like, things happen to us for a reason, and I think when it comes down to how open you are with your shit, sure, in certain scenarios, like you don't want to give everything away. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I think there's power in it. I think there's power in being able to say, hey, I'm fucked up. You know, like, it's almost like the Eminem 8 Mile shit. Just at the end where he starts spitting and tells everybody everything.
All his flaws.
Yeah,
all his
now say something about me.
Exactly.
Because I already know it. And then everyone goes fucking crazy. It's like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it is.
If I can talk about everything like it meant something to me when it was happening. And it still means something because it was my past. But I'm not that person.
Exactly.
I'm this person in this moment. And when you guys are watching this, I'll be a completely different person.
Yep.
Because I've experienced new things. And that's not to say the experiences are going to be fucking wild. They could be sitting on television and I have a thought and it's completely changed who I am.
Absolutely.
People think, oh, you have to have these wild fucking experiences to be different. No.
Yeah.
That's not true. That's not a real thing.
Well, that's the lie. See, that's the lie that we've been told, because it's like, look up to the celebrity, look up to the idol, because that's the experience you need. You know, the common man experience or the average Joe experience. Nah, that's not it. You got to have the yacht experience, the fancy life, and that's the problem, man. Is because people have forgot to appreciate their own actual storyline, and there's so much power. There's so much power in each individual story. You just have to put it in the right frame. You have to have someone who can tell you that story for you to see how beautiful it is. You get the beauty behind the madness. You get the whole lot, right? But because everyone is so conditioned to be like, oh, but I don't really have much going on for me, but Kim K does, this person does, this person does. So then you start looking up and you forget about your own experience. Then we have these conversations and we unravel things and you're like, bro, like you could, that's a story that could be in a book, whether it is or not, but you telling your life story can be sold and that could be $1 million copy right there. You know what?
One thing that I don't like about the hierarchy or even the fascination with celebrity is these people are slaves.
Slaved hard.
I'm not talking about the people that are watching them. I'm talking about the celebrity themselves. Because they've created the brand, and if they haven't done it on their own accord, if there's producers making sure everything runs smoothly, those producers want to get paid as well. So now the people that created the show, like take the Kardashians, the Kardashians then become slaves to the show The Kardashians.
Absolutely.
They have to be this way. They have to make sure that it's constantly like a little bit too dramatic for like everyday public. That like dad just cut his dick off.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? Oh, because we're losing ratings.
Yep. Yeah, it's wild. It's really wild. Yeah, they're slaved. They're all slaved. Whether they like to believe it or not, you can see it. The moment that they can't stand up for something because they know the paycheck is going to be cut, the platform is going to be shut down, etc., etc. What are you living for? Like if you can't say what you need to say, what are you really living for here? Like I get it. The thing is, I also understand that the further you go up and the more things you accumulate. For example, let's just use the Kardashians as an example, right?
Go.
So it's not obviously just the Kardashians that are getting paid.
Yeah.
It's the Kardashians makeup, it's the Kardashians, schedule organizer, the manager. So it's like a whole ecosystem of people who are feeding, who are getting paid, they need to, support their family. So now imagine this. If one person from the Kardashians comes and says something that is going to take the money away, bro, no one's going to be able to eat. So that fear of like, bro, if I say something, we might lose our money. That means that there might not be food on the table. Obviously, we're exaggerating. There's going to be food on the table, but it can lead to that if everything gets cut out. So that fear just pretty much drives them to be like, no, we can't. We need to stay in this line. We need to do exactly what we're told. We can't go against the curve because there's too many people on the line here. They're feeding a lot of people. Their organism, their company, it's not just them. It's a lot of people, man. Mm-hmm. So if one thing, if one domino effect gets kicked, they could lose everything. And that's just it's too much for them.
Yeah.
It's too much. They don't want to go back.
No. And I think there's a lot of detrimental possibilities if people keep looking at celebrity as like the icon. But brings me to my next point, which is Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye West didn't just say something negative. He didn't say something against the narrative. He said the most craziest shit ever. Like, I like Hitler.
He said that?
He said that.
Right.
He said he wasn't a bad guy. Now, did he say that because he knows that he's going to get cancelled? Does he want to be cancelled? Does he want to be so far out of the limelight now that he can say he's going to say some random crazy shit, not because he likes Hitler. I don't believe that he likes Hitler.
Right.
He's a Jesus preacher, right?
Yep.
I believe that he probably is sick and tired of the general rhetoric narrative
Yeah.
of the government and like the fans and all that shit, just idolizing crazy shit.
So he just went completely opposite. And
Let's
said
go.
something.
Let's go fucking full Nazi.
Yep.
Let's get cancelled.
Yep.
And Balenciaga at the same time doesn't get cancelled for child pornography.
Oh, yep.
You know, like this is the kind of shit that like we're dealing with.
Well, it's a prison planet.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
It's a prison planet.
Capitalism is prison, like has a prison entity to it.
Yep.
Because we're, you know, like everything is dollar monetary value. And if you can break free from that with influence and power and status and attention, they come for you.
100%.
Look at AT. I know we can't say his name on here.
Yeah, abbreviate it. Yeah, AT.
Yeah.
They come, bro. You need to. I don't know, man. I don't know. The thing is, like, there's levels to this game.
Yeah.
I understand that, and you need to be in a position to have enough leverage. Like yourself and me, it's not enough leverage right now, right? We can say what we want to say, but there's not enough leverage to play that game. I don't even know what holds when you get to that level. Like if you get to an AT level, right?
Or Joe Rogan.
Right. And I don't know, because it's like, there's different curtains that get revealed the higher you go, right? And we've all seen it when some celebrities out of nowhere, they go missing. Like
Jack Ma.
Yeah, like even like Dave Chappelle, for example. You know, at some point he was running the Chappelle show.
Yeah.
Then he got offered this, and then he went missing. Then they made this crazy story. It's like, he's on crack, he's fucked up, he's this and this. And that's what, you know, if you're an outsider and all you see is the news, you're going with that narrative, right? But there was obviously so much things going on because the curtains are getting revealed, right? So I firmly believe that it's a prison planet. It's run by criminals, right? They don't want your best interest and my best interest. They don't. So with that being said, it's like, okay, now it's like, what do we do here, right? And I completely understand. I completely understand the thing, because like they want to get you so distracted, right? You got to pay your bills. Got to do this. You got to do this. Where you're so caught up in all these things, you don't have time to go and voice your opinion. You're afraid. And I'm not saying you in general, but I'm just saying like just the general public. They're afraid because first of all, they're not working under their own accord. They're getting paid by someone else.
Their income can be taken from them if they speak up too much. Yeah.
Right, right. So, and we know about like the jab and everything, how like that was getting played out. So everything is set up in a way where you're so reliant on the system that you can't escape the system. You might know the truth, but you're so caught up in the system that it's too late for you. So, and I think that's the most frustrating thing that could happen, is that you know the truth, but it's set out in a way that you can't do anything about it. It's almost like, I don't want to say that. That was...
I can cut it out.
Yeah, it's almost like... it's like a female being taken advantage of and she can't do anything about it because that guy is stronger.
Yeah.
Right?
That's exactly what it's like.
That's literally what this system is like now.
Yeah.
Right?
But there's almost like we have inflation on top of that as well. So as you're struggling to get away from the dude, he's getting bigger and stronger at the same time.
100%, because he feeds off that. He feeds off inflation. He feeds off any sort of scheme.
That's actually a really cool analogy. I know that probably have to cut it out, but it's a really.
I mean, however way you go about that, that's up to you. But that's what's going on. So now it's like, all right, we know this. Like, we know what's going on. What's the next step? I think the next step is link up with a bunch of people who are like-minded, create a tribe, create a team, a community.
Yeah.
Right. And
pull all your resources together.
Pull all your resources together. Because it's not, you can't win as a one-man army. Like, you can't.
You can't do it.
Like, just stop fooling yourself, people. You can't win. Get with close people that are on this journey of yours, that also have the same ideology and belief. The thing is, you could be black, white, purple. It doesn't matter. We're beyond that game now. It's like, we're all getting fucked, right? So how about we just start, we have the core values at hand. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could like A, you could like B, that's cool. But what's our core values? Okay, you want to protect children? Awesome. You want to protect your right? Awesome. You want to protect your family? Awesome. Now we can link up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't need to go to the surface level nitty gritty. I like blue shirt. He likes red shirt. He likes purple shirt.
The binary arguments of the world to keep us distracted from the real issues. Yeah.
Exactly. So once we scrape all that out, we go to the core values, and it seems that a sane individual would have a core value similar to yours and me, because we want to protect our individual rights. We want to protect our family.
Mm-hmm.
So then once that's set in stone, now all you need to do is just enjoy life. Enjoy the experiences. Get with a bunch of community. Build a few things. Start building something. Look, if they start coming for you, then we can talk about it then. But at the moment, we're all walking around like headless chicken. We're all trying to be individuals, right? We're not trying to link up because it's like, man, can I trust this guy? Yeah, trust me. You got to have to trust this guy next to you now, because there's another guy coming for you and he doesn't give a shit. He'll take both your fucking land. He'll take everything from you. So it's time to start trusting your brethren, your family, the people close to you.
Yeah.
Cut the bullshit.
There's a video that I really enjoy, and it's kind of like almost similar to this. I'll explain what he actually said.
Yep.
So basically he said every single prime minister president that comes in always has fleeting amounts of enthusiasm and great ideas for policy changes that would be great for the American public. And the interviewer was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, that's normally what happens. And then Putin goes, but then the men with the black suits turn up, like my men behind me, and then nothing changes.
Yep.
Yeah. So with all like the, like the racism of the world, and I don't it's a massive issue. But I think at this point in time, the strategy of the government to keep everybody at bay is to get them fighting within their own little tribes all around the world.
Absolutely.
So we can control the overall capitalistic society, and we can still be on top making money and all that shit. But now we've gotten to the point where we don't even care.
Yep.
We don't care as much about anything anymore. Why would I care about like the crazy amount of racism that's happening in America when I'm earning $50,000 a year, but my fucking mortgage is $500,000 now?
Yeah, exactly.
But back in like 1960, a fucking house mortgage was $80,000, and you were still earning $40,000.
That's exactly the scheme, is that it's come to the point where you can see the problem.
Yeah,
but it's like, you don't care, or you don't have enough time.
About it?
Yeah, and you don't have enough resource or time to do anything about it, because you're like, man, but I have to get my ass to work. I've got to feed my family. I've got to pay the bills. I've got to do A, B, C, D. I can't fucking worry about what's happening across the world, right? And I mean, it might be inconsiderate, but that's just the reality of it. The reality of it is there's so much going on, and I feel this empathy towards it, because it's like, man, you're so caught up in the system. Even to a degree, I am. Like, let's be honest. Even to a degree, we all are.
Yeah,
the fact that we have a phone, we're still in the system.
The fact that we're sitting here, we're in the system.
We're in the system.
Otherwise, we would be on house arrest. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We wouldn't be allowed to talk like this.
Absolutely.
We'd be in prison.
Yeah.
If you weren't in the system, well, like, and I really love the whole Matrix analogy.
Yep.
Because it is that.
Yeah.
Whether you think of, like, we're batteries, we're not necessarily batteries, but batteries run out, you know, and life runs out.
Runs out.
And batteries give energy until they run out.
Yep.
And we give attention until it runs out. We give energy until it runs out. And I really love the fact that like the only means for extraction of energy from a human is to build a better society, to build a bigger society, to build like an actual structure so it continues forever.
Yep.
And more humans means more energy, and more energy means more resources.
Yep.
And more resources means furthering that stream.
Exactly.
Now, the only way you can find happiness is to be in that stream for long enough and have the awareness to still move away from the stream once you get the resources.
Yep.
To fill your battery up. Now, what's stronger than one battery?
Many batteries.
You're linking all the batteries together.
Yep.
So like you said, the tribe.
Yep.
Right? You get 5 strong batteries. Link
Yes.
them together. You've got the energy of 5 kings to fucking move.
Exactly. You have eyes. You have eyes all around you now.
Yeah.
You can see differently. You can move differently, and being around a tribe, there's a different. Because the thing is, like, the worst thing that someone could be is like be alone. But yeah, one of the strongest things you could do is to link up with the tribe, because the energy grows. The same with the battery example you're talking about. The energy grows, and there's a feel like I belong to something bigger, right? It's like one of the what do you call it? You know, like a football team.
Yeah.
Like I could understand like a football team, any sports team, when they're in a team, they have a different energy about them. They have a different aura, because it's like, it's all of us, right? It's not just me. It's like, it's not one consciousness. It's multiple consciousness linking up together and then serving a common goal. And it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I'm in the process of developing that, you know, linking
A soccer team?
Let's just say a soccer team for the world. But like I just like in Perth, you know, with the homies, the music, I'm in the process of we're all developing that together, where it's like we're putting all our differences aside. It's like, guys, what's your core values? Let's get to that, right? Sure, okay, look, you might leave the toilet seat up, the other one might leave it down. Like these are like little personality habits. We can get over that, right? It's not a make or break here. What's a make or break is like, are you down for the cause? Are you down to just have a good time on this temporary life? It's temporary, man, right? And everyone wants to leave with some good experiences. We both want to feel happy, want to feel joy. We want to feel the actual pleasures in life. And you need that, man. You just need that with the team.
I think people don't take that pooling of resources serious enough.
It's hard because it's like I have to trust someone to watch my back while I'm watching the front.
Yeah. And I think that whole it gets lost way too easily because people see competition within their own tribe. But there should be competition, but it should be to help the tribe. That's why like AT and TT, they train combat together. Because they're brothers. They have their own backs, each other's backs. And they brought their cousin into it.
Yeah.
And now they've got, you know, Tam Khan as well, and like a bunch of these other crazy fucks. They're like some of the most disciplined people in the world because they understand the resource pooling method.
Exactly.
And like that's people that talk shit about him and talk shit about all these masculine figures. Like, fuck you. Who else have we got? What? You want us to listen to fucking like Rand Paul? Like what? Like
there's strong men out there. They're just not. Here's the thing.
They're strong men for themselves, though.
No, there is.
I think this one dude has strength, but he also has the other people in mind.
But that's only because we've seen him a lot. That's what I mean. It's like he had a strategy to go about it where the world can see him.
Yeah.
You know, in a short amount of time. Bro, he came out of nowhere. Like, and the strategy, like we discussed it in the car before, it's smart. Where it's like, grab a bunch of your followers to grab these clips and spread it like wildfire through all the social media platforms. And this is before he was banned, right? So he spread it. So that's why it got to so many people. But 100%, man, there's strong individuals who have a team, who are within a team, who are organizing a team, and they're doing their thing. It's just not in the light like it was with AT. That's it.
Yeah.
And I give credit to, listen, I'm not taking credit away. I give credit because it's still saying, hey, men need to be men, female need to be female. And besides that, we need to do right. We need to do right by things because people are suffering here. And it is, if the definition of this experience was just pure suffering, well, I mean, honestly, someone should have told us that in the beginning when we grew up, because I had a different idea of what life was going to be. I thought it was going to be a good balance of everything, right? But growth. But all I'm seeing is just people suffering. Like, no one's even aware of their own experience anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck's going on, man?
It's hard to grow when you don't know why you're suffering.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a whole different...
Yeah.
And we could even go to that, like...
One of my friends, well, he's not my friend anymore. He used to be my friend. And there's other reasons as to why, but this isn't one of them.
Yep.
He lost his missus, like she left him, and his kids left him.
I've met this guy, right?
No.
And
And he fucked himself on drugs while he was, had a great family,
Right.
And then he came to me maybe like fucking a month after, and he was so depressed.
Damn.
And he's like on antidepressants and stuff. And he's like, bro, I don't know why I'm on antidepressants.
He doesn't know why he's on antidepressants.
He's like, I don't know why I'm so depressed. And I was like,
no shit.
you lost motherfucker.
Wow.
As if you're that blind to it.
Well, there's people who believe in it. There's people who believe in the cure of medication is going to solve it. Like, there's firm believers.
Oh, yeah.
Firm, bro. They'll start trying to cut people's throats if you try to go against that idea. It's like, no, I have this. You can't tell me otherwise. And that's fine, man.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's your experience.
Yeah.
Right? But I have my own experience.
Mm-hmm.
So let's...
It's a good point.
It's like, whatever, man. As long as
if you believe it that hard, they stick up for it.
Yeah.
Why would you want... If the devil was real...
Yep.
And he was standing over there and he had your mum in a headlock.
Yep.
Would you try and fucking fight that motherfucker and kill him? Or would you be like, he is real. I told you.
Yeah, exactly, man.
No, you would fucking try and kill that.
You'd kill him, yeah.
Yeah. But like people like, in their heads like, no, he is real.
Yep.
He is. But he's got you in a headlock. So...
Yeah, without you seeing it.
Without you seeing it.
Both parties are in the headlock there.
Yeah.
Bro, whoever's running this game, whoever is behind these schemes of things.
Jeffrey Epstein.
he was a soldier. He was a soldier for the dark side, for sure. He wasn't the main man. He was a soldier. And they realized that, oh man, this soldier might switch on us. Because he was switching. Because he was switching. Yeah, he got caught. They're like, ooh, he might start revealing the
I reckon
plan.
he tried to blackmail the wrong person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like, because he took a lot of fucking people to that island. And they got a lot of photos of all these different people on that island with all these children. Log? Did it ever come out?
Yeah, the flight log came out.
The flight log came out?
There was a lot of questionable people where I was like, no, surely you're not
I thought they hit it like immediately.
Yeah, but see, there was like this gap. There was like I don't even trust Google anymore, man.
Oh, no.
But yeah, see.
DuckDuckGo it.
Oh, okay, there you go. I didn't even, what's that?
It's,
Damn.
Yeah, you can search up anything without being tracked.
Yeah, suss it out, man. See if you can.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, pop it.
Evidencing.
Fuck.
Let's go.
Dude, there's some questionable
Look
people.
at her. She's a psycho. Right?
Yeah.
You know where she is now?
No.
She's in a prison that's like a 1-star prison. So she gets to leave for 18 hours a day as long as she goes back. They have yoga. They have PlayStation 5s.
And how many stars you say? 1. And they got PS5 in a 1-star place.
Yeah, no, I mean like it's a vacation home. So like it's a rating 1 star.
Right.
It's like a 5-star hotel.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah, they have like 5 level 5 prisons. This is a level 1 prison.
I get you.
Yeah, like it's a farm. It's a yoga retreat.
She's just literally just enjoying herself.
Yeah. Okay, so what does it say here? Endlessly scrutinized, studied, and speculated over for years, flight records from Jeffrey Epstein's airplanes have been the subject of debate, conjecture, litigation, and conspiracy theory. The trial of his accused accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, added unprecedented context and nearly 120 pages of only lightly redacted handwritten paperwork released publicly on Sunday. I'm guessing this is ages ago. Documenting flights from between 1991 through the beginning of 2006, the logs offer more perspective about the cadre of politicians, musicians, models, and financiers who took to the skies on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. Each page of the logs is signed at the lower left-hand corner by David Rogers, who served as Epstein's chief pilot. What? Okay, so Donald Trump.
Yep.
What are these ones? Oh, these are the fucking things. I love this. So Tiffany Trump.
Yep.
Marla Maples. So that was Tiffany Trump's mother. Eric Trump. Bill Clinton. So former President Bill Clinton traveled on Epstein's plane several times over a 2-year period. Familiar to former longtime Clinton aide Doug Band. Naomi Campbell. What?
Man, it just gets worse. This
I
list.
believe this one. On September 21, 2002, Jeffrey Epstein took Clinton Epstein took Clinton actor Kevin Spacey. Do you know what Kevin Spacey got charged with?
What?
Rape.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But gay rape.
Jeez. There you go.
He fucking it was hitting on a 17-year-old busboy at a restaurant.
Jesus.
And started like grabbing his leg and his dick and all this shit. Fucking, I hate that motherfucker. Alan Dershowitz, he's an attorney. Virginia Giuffre.
Yep.
Prince Andrew. Bro.
It gets worse, man.
Sarah Ferguson. Andrew Albert Christian Edward. I don't know who the fuck that is.
Well, what I'm thinking, right, is that maybe a lot of these people turned up, but it was just like, let's say it was an island, right? And they had like fucking events.
There they are. There's the flight logs.
Oh, man, it goes.
It's 118 pages.
Nah, it's too much, man. It's
what
too
the
much.
fuck? I want to download this. Surely.
Pretty sure, like, there's a few actors, a few musicians.
How do I download this?
There you go.
I'm going through this with a fine-tooth comb, motherfucker. Holy shit. As if they have the flight logs on here.
You never knew about it?
I'm going to put this...
Yeah, it's all there, man.
It's all there. Daniel Rogers signed. Look. Jeffrey... When did they date back to? They have dates on them?
It says 91. 1991.
Damn, bro. Have you seen The Island?
Just brief photos, yeah.
You know, like the outside of the building is painted in an Israeli flag?
No, I didn't know that.
Tell me they're not, is it Mossad?
What's that?
Isn't Mossad the... Mossad is responsible for intelligence collection, covert operations, and counter-terrorism. Its director answered directly to the Prime Minister.
Right.
So Mossad is an intelligence agency in Syria, I think it is.
Okay.
Israel. There you go. And Ghislaine Maxwell's father, do you know who she is? Who he is?
I have heard they're all linked to something, yeah.
Central Intelligence,
right.
CIA.
Damn.
Dude, it's so fucked up.
Dude, it is. There's a lot of history between like some people that are out right now.
Robert Maxwell. Suspected spy and fraudster. Former member of Parliament of the United Kingdom. Ian Robert Maxwell, MC, was a Czechoslovak-born British media proprietor, member of Parliament, suspected spy and fraudster.
Fraudster, that's a...
I love it. How fucked up is that, bro?
I'm pretty sure there's like a story about like the owner of Netflix is, if you like trace it back, he is in the lineage of. Have you heard that story?
Yes. I think it was Spotify.
No, it's Netflix.
Is it?
It's Netflix. So I don't know the exact names, but if you trace the owner of or the founder of Netflix, if you trace his lineage, there was a. Let's see.
Okay, so Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays was an American business consultant who was widely regarded as having created the modern profession of public relations with his groundbreaking campaigns of the 1920s. Bernays attained clients amongst major corporations and became known for boosting their business by causing changes in public opinion.
Yep.
What the fuck? That is literally the definition of propaganda.
So what's funny is that.
Did you want some ice?
No, it's good.
Are you cool?
He did that with breakfast. So the thing was the meat and bacon industry, they weren't selling a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they came to this guy and they were like, look, man, we need more sales in our meat. So he's like, can you help us out? He's like, yeah, easy. I'll help you out. So then they devised this plan of making sure, this campaign, that breakfast should be the most important thing for you to have in the morning. So what happened was they introduced bacon and eggs, sausages into your breakfast.
What?
Exactly. Breakfast was never a thing, man.
Yeah, true.
It's just the idea of it. They're like, okay, we need to make it. So they made all their campaigns around, you must have breakfast in the morning to vitalize your body, yada, yada, yada. It's the best thing to have. All the sales of meat went up. He was behind it.
I wonder what kind of marketing was behind, like, I mean, before that though. Was there ever was people like, we're fasting, like that's the good thing about this, and then this motherfucker came in like, no, breaking the fast is the best thing for energy.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the general consensus prior to this like propaganda being portrayed through?
I don't know, but
I wonder what it was.
He's a smart
man. And you
man.
would never know because
never know.
it probably wasn't recorded properly.
Exactly.
Let's find out. That's why we got Google. Before 1920s.
Damn. What was that?
Which one do you have? Skull?
Yeah.
Shivers.
Gave me one. Gave me shivers.
Did it?
I don't drink a lot, man, but
You got to have like a bit of ice with it too. Let it like.
yeah, fucked it.
Do you want me to get some ice?
I'm good.
Yeah. The secret history of breakfast. Whether you're sitting down, oh fuck off. The invention of breakfast. Here we go. Breakfast is. Oh, it's making me hungry.
Fuck, is he alive? Edward?
Nah, surely not. No, 1995,
Okay.
dead. Born in 1891, bro.
Damn. Damn. Yeah, old motherfucker.
Yeah, that motherfucker eat old
Bro,
as shit.
I need him to run some like ads and shit, man. He'd be good. Like for music, it's like, bro,
Oh, yeah.
I need to pop off. I need you to find the best strategy. They should implement him into Chat GPT.
Fuck that. Do you know what I want to know is why Netflix hasn't done music videos?
Netflix hasn't done music videos. Yeah.
Like a music video section?
That'd be pretty dope.
That'd be fucking dope.
That'd be really dope.
Yeah. Like I know Spotify has it now.
They do.
Yeah, you can put music videos on
Wow.
Spotify, yeah. You know what you can also do? And nobody's doing this. You know how you can have like videos, podcasts on Spotify?
Okay.
I got video podcasts on Spotify. Check out the Roadshow. No,
Facts.
fucking hate that shit. But like, yeah, we've got video podcasts on Spotify, so you can like listen to it with the fucking screen off or on or watching it or not watching it or
Yep.
not even paying attention to what I do anyway. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so people can literally put any video content on Spotify now.
I didn't know that.
So you could put you could just call it a podcast and put like every fucking.
Anything you want.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Fuck, Spotify's changing their game.
Yeah, Spotify's becoming the new YouTube, and I think it's going to be better than YouTube because I think it's not run by an oligarch.
Who's that?
Like fucking, who's the owner of YouTube? It's Google, right? Google owns YouTube.
I think so.
Yeah. Owner of Google. It's two guys. Larry Page. You piece of shit.
Fucking Larry.
Yeah, fucking Larry. And he bought. So Larry Page. We're just diving, eh?
Yeah, do you think? I'm not even an artist anymore, man. I'm just
What do you mean?
just straight up just a
Propaganda machine cog. In October 2006, YouTube was bought by Google for 1.65 billion.
Fuck.
That's fuck all.
For YouTube, it's fuck all.
That's fuck all. What is YouTube worth now? 1.65 billion.
In 2006.
Yeah,
oh,
bro.
yeah, bro. That
What?
it would have. Yeah, it's a whole different number now.
23.89 billion
Yeah, that makes sense.
in 2002. 2022. Fuck. So that's like $22 billion they made over 18 years?
Yeah, around there. Yep. It's a lot, man. Like, just to get to 1 billion is ridiculous.
Well, do you remember Facebook buying Instagram for $1 billion?
And when was that?
Oh, when was that? I don't know. 2002 maybe?
Damn. No way. But Instagram wasn't around in 2002.
Okay, when did Facebook
Bro, trust me.
buy Insta?
Instagram came out.
2012.
Yeah.
Okay. For 1 billion, see?
And
Only
now
one.
And now it's probably around.
How much is Insta worth?
Let's see.
$33.48 billion. Holy fuck. Now
That's ridiculous.
that is... what is TikTok worth, you reckon? Do you think it's worth more or less? If Instagram's worth $33.48 billion, what do you think TikTok's worth? Let's have a ballpark.
15 billion.
15?
15 billion.
I'm going to say 40.
Already. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
66.
Yeah, you're close.
Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy.
TikTok has an impressive brand value of $66 billion US as of 2023. That's double what Instagram has.
And it's been around for like, what?
4 years?
Maybe that?
Oh, 2016.
16. 7 years?
6-7 years, yeah. Dude, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Oh, they're killing it, man.
Well, they have the attention of the youth.
Yeah.
I think anybody that has the attention of the youth is the next,
Is the next trendsetter or dictator.
Xi Jinping.
You heard about
Bricks.
not bricks, but how TikTok operates. For example, like if you go to China, their algorithm is set up where it only shows academic achievements.
Yeah. It's scary.
But then in the West, it shows you ass twerking,
TikTok dances,
TikTok pranks, just to like...
Everyone's fucking with each other. Dismantling trust.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And they actually, in China, they make you work for it to get notoriety. Like, nobody blows up from like engineering work.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
No one gets famous over there because as soon as you get famous over there, you don't look at the dictator the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody can get famous for fucking anything over here. Why? Because we look up to celebrity. So we want to be like celebrity. So
Yep.
if we could be like celebrity and get that kind of attention, wouldn't that be good for us? No. It's displacing value.
Yep. It is. It really is.
Yeah.
Well, also like the way the platform is set up, I believe, is that like recently when I was just like, I was running a few ads, I was just like trying to understand what's going on with TikTok and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, see, the platform wants you to pay because that's how it makes its money. Think about it, like how is Instagram making money? Through the fact that people are running ads and whatnot, right? So the more I dove deep, I was like, so the platform favors people who are contributing back to the platform. So you got to pay. Whereas like you can't organically, it might be possible, but nowadays it's very hard for organically to run your business on Instagram and TikTok and get like 1 million fucking, because like Kim K would have done that. Think about it.
Yeah.
She's got however million followers.
50 million or something.
She doesn't need to, like those big someone was telling me this on Instagram. I saw it. They were like, what if it came to the point where, like, you know, for Super Bowl, how they run those expensive ads, they could have just, instead of paying like 7 million, they could have gave it to Kim K, who's got 300 million, and her 300 million, you know, subscribers or whatever could have saw that. But that's not how it works, because it's like TikTok needs you to, and not just TikTok, Instagram and TikTok, they need you to pay.
Yeah.
So to keep you on the grid. And I was like, man, it's just a money game here. Just a straight up money game.
Well,
Whoever's got money.
there's two things that they want, right? Every company wants money, and every company wants attention. And if you can organically bring more eyes to their platform, they favor that.
They favor that.
Because it means more eyes on more advertisements being consumed means more dollars in. So regardless if you're paying the money, if you bring an audience that watches adverts, well, then they make more money from adverts.
Yep.
On Instagram, if you have a post and it does well organically, good. If you have a post that does bad, and then you post again and it does bad, and then you choose to pay for an advert on that second post, they realize your shit is so trash that you needed to pay us. So everything after this, unless you're paying, it ain't going.
Wow.
That's how it works.
I can see that.
That's the algorithm.
Yep.
And on TikTok, I haven't paid for anything on TikTok. And I'm scared to.
Is it limiting you with like the certain reach that you're getting at the moment?
I'm still doing maybe 5,000 likes a week.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm getting like good traction as long as you post every day.
Right.
If you don't post every day, you're just killing the algo.
You're killing the algo.
You need to do it. And like with my edits, the edits do take like a good half an hour for each reel that I put up. So
yeah, it would.
Like, because you got to go scan the podcast, find out good times, and then like it has to have a good hook in the beginning, so you like it inspires attention right there. And then like some that I've put up recently, great hooks for me though. So when anybody else watches it, it's like, that's not as interesting.
Right.
So it has to be a universally attention grabbing hook. And then like it might not do well anyway. I could be talking about AT and it fucking just goes to shit.
Seems like that's the trend these days. Talk about him, goes to shit.
Everything. YouTube, I'm probably not going to be posting much more to YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll probably go Rumble and Spotify.
So where would you post this?
Probably Rumble and Spotify.
Okay, so that's going straight on that.
Yeah, I'll probably start after this one.
Yep.
Yeah. But I've got to move all my podcasts to Rumble now.
Shit.
So I'm like 62 in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking podcasts.
That's a lot of exporting, bro.
Yeah, I know, but it is what it is, you know? The beautiful thing about all of this is it hasn't died. I think this kind of open conversation and we get to talk whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it, bro.
It's good, man. It's freeing. Don't have to censor it. And if we do have to censor it, then you know it's not the right platform.
Exactly.
It's time to move on.
Yeah.
It's time to move to something else, man.
Yeah.
It just becomes like a hassle, man. Like every time you're going to say something, you're like, damn. So if I say this, it's going to lead to this. It kills the beauty about it. It kills the beautiful essence of a conversation where it's meant to be natural flowing. It's like, I don't want to keep stepping every 5 minutes to be like, oh, wait, should I say that? Should I not say that? Like, nah, just go. Just say what you got to say, man.
Yeah. That's how I like to do these fucking things.
Yeah, it's good.
And I reckon if I hadn't like a producer, like a Kim Kardashian has a producer, like looking over our shoulder, like, fucking say that.
He's like, oh, we're going to
fuck all of this.
We've just lost our check, man. What'd you do? Nah, man, fuck your check.
Yeah, checks don't mean shit.
We'll get another check, man. Relax.
Yeah. Checks only mean shit if it's big enough to make sure that we eaten.
Yep.
And YouTube doesn't pay that much.
Well, here's also the contrary to that. The check could be big enough, but what are you sacrificing for that check?
Yeah. I ain't going to sacrifice anything that I want to talk about for any motherfucker ever.
Yep.
Somebody the other day told me that I shouldn't say the word gay, and I said it probably 100 more times after that because they told me not to say it.
Is there a counter? You got like a buzzer, like every time? You should have one on the screen next time. If there's like certain words you can't say, and every time you say it, just like keeps going up and up.
It's like that whole Robin Williams thing back in the day. He got on stage and started like calling everybody in the crowd by their racial slurs. And by the end of it, everyone was pissing themselves laughing.
Nice.
Because he's like, see, now when we don't talk about it, it gets a little bit more tension.
Yep.
You know, and the more tension, because we're not allowed to say things, that's why. It's actually a really interesting, you know, little comedy sketch that he had, because it's like, oh shit, we're so deep into thinking that things are like, don't say this, don't say that, cancel this, cancel that. You know, we're all about this whole like shut them down kind of mentality rather than dealing with it.
Actually deal with it.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Don't fucking bitchify everything.
It's hard to deal with it because where do you start?
Inside.
Yes. That's well said, mate. Well said.
You have to.
Start from the inside. It's in reflection, right? The inside is the reflection of the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I've been experiencing as well. Like, I realize that the moments that I feel like I'm not at my fullest in terms of being ethical, right? Like, oh fuck, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Like, I should have not said that to hurt that person's feelings or whatever, right? I could see that my day starts to be, it turns against me. Like, it doesn't open up the proper doorways for the energy to flow. So I really do feel that if you are truly doing what you need to do and you're on the right path, it's a pure reflection of your environment. It will reciprocate back to you, man.
100%.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
And we're back. We're back.
Yes.
I've decided I'm going to have a whiskey because I haven't seen you in a long time. So as long as I don't have any fucking weed, we're good. I don't plan on it. So I did have a couple of wines on Monday, and it was just after I had put up the post that I was like 42 days without fucking alcohol.
Yeah, it was good.
Alcohol's not my vice. Weed is. So, and I'm
the same.
I probably shouldn't be drinking while I have this health affliction, but
Just one for man. When I heard those beats, I was like, well, you have to have a toast with me.
yeah. Why?
I don't know. It just felt like it's one of those beats. Like, man, you've actually like you've made it to a good fucking point in FL. This is like accomplishment status.
Yeah, but compared to you,
Let's not compare, man. We're not here to compare.
let's
Like,
compare. Pull your dick out.
I'm like wide more than length.
Fuck.
I'm a wide more than length. Bro, like I actually have
We're talking spaghetti sticks here.
I got, like I was telling my homie, man, he was getting me shoes,
Yeah.
and I'm like, dude, my fucking feet are just wide.
Wide
it's like
feet?
the worst. It's like
Do you have flat feet?
no,
No?
I don't have that.
That fucking sucks when you got wide, flat feet. You got to walk like a duck.
Fuck.
Cheers. Come on.
Cheers, brother.
I didn't look you in the eye when I cheered you. That's pretty bad. Did you put ice in
The
it?
thing is, I can't do. Yeah, I did, but like I can't ever do a straight face cheers, man, because I barely drink, so I'm not used to the taste. So you see, like my face will just go like, oh fuck, like it's too much for me.
You got to wait until it like the ice melts down a little bit. Like 40% alcohol scotch fucks you up and it doesn't allow much flavor. When it gets down to like 35, 30, that's when it's the full flavor starts
Yeah,
to
I
come
feel
through.
it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Anyway, let's fucking talk about the song.
We can, yes.
The thing that I wanted to talk about and why you're here. Nah. 'cause
We
we're
always
fr-
get carried away.
We
man.
always fucking get carried away.
We get carried away with these deep conversations about conspiracy, and
Dude, but most conspiracies these days are real.
it's not even conspiracy anymore. It's just real.
It's just we're talking shit. You know?
100%.
Yeah. So where did the inspiration for They Know come about?
I knew you were going to ask something like that, man. I don't have... Like, the inspiration behind my songs is just in relation to... in relation to the topic that I pick for that moment. Because sometimes I'll just do it off a topic base, you know? Other times it's very organic. And I'd be like, oh, well, I'm going through something. Let me talk about that. But other times I'm like challenging myself. I'm like, I would like to write about a scene where I'm just cruising down with like a beautiful lady, the car top is off, sunset, and we just
Convertible.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So like I start like formulating these ideas in my mind, and it becomes very like seductive to me. I'm like, beautiful. If I can see it, let's now do our best to put it in a song. And that's how the inspiration will come about.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that what you saw for They Know?
Yes. I actually got, if anything, I did get inspired through like different visuals. So I was seeing like a music video that had a certain scene that I was looking for.
What music video?
It's, what's the cat's name? It's called With Your Permission or Without Permission. It's one of these songs. It's just like a guy cruising down with his chick in the music video. I gotta get his name. What was his name? Fuck.
I can Google it.
Typing like With Your Permission or something. Yeah. It's a black and white. That's the home.
Roy James?
Yeah, Roy James. That's him.
Yeah, okay.
So I got the visual aspect. That's how I started to like formulate where the song will go. I'm like, I would like this to be played when we're cruising down. Yeah.
Okay. So like black and white theme.
Black and white theme, which I didn't do I didn't do the black and white theme. I liked it with color. But it's fucking dope how he's got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the lyrics themselves, the lyrics They Know, what is that pertaining to? Like, what was the story that you came out the other side with?
The story behind They Know, especially like just the words They Know,
Yeah.
it's like, you know you're beautiful. Like I'm telling her, like you know you're beautiful, you know you're bad. Let's just cut all that bullshit and let's just get to the real truth of it. How are you as a human being? Like that's really, it's like, they know you're beautiful. They know you got a vibe. We got that, but let's get to the good part. And then in the verse is where I'm like telling her like these things.
Right. Okay. I get it. Because I've listened to it a couple of times. The hook is the thing that's...
The hook is
the catch.
The catch. That's. I mean, if a song doesn't have a hook, I mean, I'm waiting for a hook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time I'm hearing something, I'm waiting for a hook. And sometimes it doesn't give you a hook, but it gives you like incredible verses for you to like depict, and that's okay. But most of the time, I'm waiting for a hook.
Yeah. Well, that's how good the music is, because I couldn't really discern what the lyrics were about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
That's when you're in the music, the art of it.
Exactly.
And like that's why I was kind of like, I'm gonna question him on like, what's the fucking story behind the actual song?
I need to get better. Like my thing is like I want to get better at storytelling. Like in this
within music,
of course. Like, bro, I can't take credit for anything I've done at the moment. I can't take credit for anything that happens later on. I just know I'm open to the information and to growth, right? So there will come a time where I'll be better at writing music. I could tell the story better. Ideally, I want to get to the point where I tell such a great story that images come to your mind, feelings, sensations. That's a really good storytelling.
Yeah. Yeah. Feeling something is just like one part of it. But if you can get someone to actually visualize the story,
Yeah.
and get them feeling something connected to the visualization, that's a true masterpiece.
It's like a cinema in your mind that just opens up.
Have you read any books on storytelling?
No, do you have any?
No.
Is there someone who does it? So you have an idea of someone who does it?
There's a how-to on storytelling, and I can't remember what.
But storytelling through like the artist perspective, through like music, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I had one sip of the...
Man,
it's already
good
going
shit.
crazy. Yeah, storytelling, nature of music. Oh, how to tell a story. That's it back there.
The essential guide to memorable
Storytelling. From the Moth. I don't think that's it.
Nah.
Maybe it was that first one, how to enhance your storytelling with music. We'll probably cut all this part out and just skip right here.
Funny.
Who's this by?
What
does that say?
Ambinla?
Abby...
Abimbola.
Abimbola Gemi Alo. Alo.
It's a cool name.
Alo. So how to enhance your story, the resources.
They got one of those like you can read the first 2 pages sort of vibe. Well, what's your idea on like if someone was to tell a great story, what's the first things that come to your mind?
Who, what, when, where, and why.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Because there's certain aspects of storytelling that if you remove one of the who, what, when, where, and whys,
Yep.
where it gives it suspense. You know, if you don't have a who, but there is a person, you know, it becomes suspenseful. If you gives a certain time frame, but then you don't allude back to the time frame, it's a suspense moment.
Correct.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
But there's I think what too many people try to do now is focus on the what too much.
Like what's going on?
Yeah, like so like it's always about the jewelry, about the sex, about what the person's doing.
Yep.
It's always about the what.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
It's never like all the best love songs are about the feeling. So it's always the who and the how.
The how.
Or the why.
They have that in they also have that in like hip hop.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if someone's flexing like his jewels, his cars, then they have like the why. Like, okay, I'm doing A, B, C, D because of A, B, C, D. That, you hear it, but those are the better storytellers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I find like most storytellers don't just work by themselves. That's why you see most, like, did you watch the Lewis Capaldi documentary on Netflix?
No.
I implore you to watch it
Okay.
because it shows his writing process. And he's the biggest recording artist in the world right now.
Right. And he's showing like how he does it.
How he records, how he writes. He's not the only person in the studio.
There's heaps.
There's like 3 other guys that like say, no, don't do that.
Yep.
Try this, try that.
Yep.
And they probably pull maybe 200 songs and then choose 10 for an
Yep.
album. 10 out of 200.
I feel that.
And some of them are like, holy fucking shit.
Yep.
At the end of a career, if you just want to keep dropping albums for the next fucking 10 years after, he's got all the songs to do it.
Yeah.
You
Music is a numbers game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like numbers in the sense of the more times you're in that studio recording, the more material you have, the more chance of something being really well received by like the audience.
Yeah.
Something really well put together. But if you only recorded one track let's just say one track every month, man, you're toast. Like you're never gonna have a chance to get to that fucking song that's gonna take off your career because you've been only recording one track a month. These guys are doing 200, 50 demos, 100 demos. They're putting in that work. It's like shooting in the gym. They're just gonna keep shooting.
There's a fine line though, right? Because I found the people that I've talked to, and I know people that have put out a track once a year.
Right. Yeah. No,
Right.
listen, first of all, I
No,
want to
you make a lot of music. Hold on.
No, fuck that. I want to say, that's wrong of me. First of all, that is 100% wrong of me. That's why I'm bringing it up. I should be putting out consistent music.
If that is what your course is telling you to do.
If you're going to do it, put out consistent.
Yeah, but I know guys that have made dozens of albums in a year and put them all out.
Right.
That's the polarization.
Yeah.
You know, if
For
you
sure.
make too much and then you don't sift through them to get the one good album, if you got like 12, even 15 fucking albums worth of music in a year, and you know that they're like, there's 65, well, let's not be conservative, they're 90% shit.
Fuck, that's a high number.
90%, well, if you got 15 albums, even 10 albums,
Yep.
and they got 10 songs per album, 90%, you get 10 good songs.
True.
10%.
That's 10%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of 10 albums. And if we're really thinking about it, that's half of what Lewis Capaldi's putting out for
100%.
one album. So he's getting 15 songs out of 200 songs, and people are putting out, 15 albums and like not really sifting through to find the gold. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
you've got the polarizations of the people that make so much music and then only put out one track, and then you've got these people that are over diluting their platform because they just think like everything that I make is good. So
I'm going to just put it out.
yeah, and then they focus too much on making the music, not enough on marketing the music,
Yep.
because it's not good enough to market.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. I'm not 100% sure what the avenue for that is. Like,
Marketing?
and just in relation to either dropping very exclusively or just bombarding the market with music, right? I don't know what's the...
Well, I think it's been set up now as a precursor for Spotify to be able to pitch to editorial playlists. So they don't let you pitch between 28 days between songs.
Oh, so you can't bombard it.
No. So, but what you can do is you can pitch one song every single month. And if you're putting out one song every single month, which is a great idea to do, it means it gives you an album every year.
Yeah.
12 songs that are your best work. You're not just making one song a month. You're making 20, 30 songs a month, and you're choosing your best one out of that month. So you're always working in lieu of one month.
Exactly.
Right? You're working for the next month. And I think if you're doing it that way and you're following to the mainstream structure,
Yeah.
like, I hate that term because it's formulated so people can do well now.
Yep.
You know, and people just like want to go, oh, well, like, don't get me wrong. There's certain people that are actually putting out music every single week.
Yep.
And I love it. Like, they're going, like, my friend Quincy, Don Darko, he's put out music every single week. He's number one on SoundCloud.
Well, there you go.
Top of the charts, number one.
Yep.
Every week. And now he's starting to put out his own music on Spotify, and he's going to go number one for DMB. He's going to go up.
Nice. Oh, he does DMB?
Drum and bass, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He's going to go to number one. Shout out Don Darko. I love you.
Gang.
But there's like, it just, if you're only putting out one song a month, you better be doing the work in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Because the work that you show is going to reflect that work in the back.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I
what's
do.
your tactic? How many songs are you fucking doing at the moment? Like,
My situation
ideas?
is a little bit different
because you're producing for other
because
people.
I'm producing for other people as well.
Yeah.
I need to have that perfect leeway for me to just hop in and out because like someone has a project coming up, I want to make that a priority, right? If someone has like some sort of music like drop that's happening, I want to make that a priority. So that's how I operate, and I'm completely okay with that.
Do you work better with other producers if you're recording?
I've never tried because I've learned everything by myself, right?
Ooh, maybe.
That would be, oh man, that would speed up the process. Imagine if I had like
Just like a
someone who was
solid
recording
day.
me, like, and a solid day, all I have to focus on is just writing and maybe just tweaking the beat. If I have like a producer who like produces, all I do is like just tweak what I need. Boom, we all get together, collaborate, everyone gets paid, music gets pumped out. That is the ideal team. We're building that, right? That's happening in the works. It just takes time. Like for me to get to that level, I need to pay my dues. So I need to pay the idea of learning how to do everything by myself first. Then we can bring the whole team on board and everyone can have a designated role. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I just don't think time should be the factor. I think you're already at that point.
I
to be
am.
honest.
And that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's happening.
Yeah.
We're in the works of putting that together.
I feel like when it comes down to it, like the skill level's being attained. If I was to look from an outside perspective looking in for you,
Right.
the skill level's there. I think it's just meeting up with the certain people that are like willing to put the business down now.
I could see that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
As you said, if time isn't a factor, then it's literally just reliant on like
It's just actions being put in
action
place.
being put in place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Most people don't want to do it these days though. You know why?
That's fine.
Because they're scared. They're scared.
It is a little scary.
Of course. Imagine fucking running into a minefield.
I have been running in that for the past 5 years.
Exactly. So
My legs blown off and shit, man. I'm like, you learn from it. You see where the landmine is, so you don't go there. Or if you're going there, you jump over it. As an analogy.
ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Roadshow number 62. This is Fraan. I am Jacob Rhodes.
Thank you for having us.
Dude, thank you for coming down.
No worries, man.
It was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Actually, before we go, I always forget to do this. How can people find you?
On Instagram mostly.
Yeah.
At Fraan HSB. That's FRAAN HSB.
Any underscores in there?
No underscores.
It's HSB.
Follow
What
me
does
on
that? What does that stand for?
Hillside Boys.
Ah, I like it.
Yeah, man. Bunch of collectives working on music, doing music,
Gangster.
and just vibing out.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Roadshow. Have a fucking great afternoon, evening, nighttime, whenever the fuck you're listening to this. Latest.
Take me home, I wanna know if you're down, ready to go. Wanna fly away with you, float away. fly.